Merry Christmas.
Welcome to one full non-stop hour of pure, unadulterated bean.
Yes.
I woke up this morning and I asked him if I could say that live.
I said yes.
I said, would it be inappropriate? And you said yes. I
Yes.
said, can I say it anyway?
And I said yes.
And you said yes. Guys, happy Friday.
Good morning.
We're going to be talking about search ranking today on Etsy.
We are.
We are. But we're going to give it a few minutes because we know that YouTube can be slow and it likes to not tell you guys when we go live. So yeah, make sure for those of you who have been following our little video series that we've been doing with Pam Duthie, you're going to want to go to her channel because on Tuesday, she posted the next video in our series. Now, for those of you who are like, what video series? Probably doesn't come off of it as a series since we're each posting every other week. Mm-hmm. But all of the videos that we are doing are tied together. Basically, through erank.com, we were able to do a survey of actual Etsy shoppers. They were on Etsy. They had a little pop-up come up and asked them some questions. And we were able to compile that into some videos. So Pam and I are the only ones who have access to this data.
Yes.
Nobody else is making videos on this because we're the only ones who have it. And the very first video, I talked about, oh crap, what was the first one? What was the first video?
We work a lot, y'all.
The video that I just did last week was about the messages that your Etsy buyers want to receive from you. So that all plays into my swipe files. It talks about, just the messages that Etsy buyers say are most important to them versus least important. And then what was the one before that? It was,
encouraging repeat buyers.
Encouraging repeat buyers. That's right. It was things to put into your packages in order to encourage people to come back to buy again and again. And then Pam, in that same series, she did a video based on basically buyer expectations in terms of shipping and what they expect on Etsy and how quickly they expect to receive their package versus some other platforms like eBay and like Amazon. And I think she did Target as well. So that's insanely useful. If you have any questions about that, you're going to want to go to her channel. And then she just did one this week about the types of, oh crap, what was hers? Was it the types of?
Your brain's not working today.
I know it's trying to remember like 4 different videos that were done because the one was done 4 weeks ago now. Hers was about how people feel about shopping on Etsy in terms of like, how does it make them feel versus some of the other platforms. So do they feel like better about shopping on Etsy than Amazon Handmade? Or is Etsy still the place to be? Is that the place where you want to sell? How does it compare to other platforms like Amazon Handmade? So she goes over that data with you on her channel. So go subscribe to Pam Duthie. Check out those after the Friday Bean ends today. The next video is going to be mine on my channel, though it won't be on Tuesday this week because my daughter's birthday was our daughter,
her daughter,
my daughter, our daughter's.
Yeah, I wasn't there.
No, he wasn't there. He didn't contribute to the creation at all. But so we have her birthday party that we have to do tomorrow, and I've got a bunch of other things that I got to do this week. So it might be running a little bit later than what I would like. But after this data video series is over, what we're planning to do is continue on with these back and forth video series between me and Pam. And I would like to go into a full Etsy SEO series for you guys. I know that that's probably the most frequently asked question that we get alongside how to market on social media. We did an entire, I think since Christmas, we've been talking about how to optimize for social, how to do reels, how to use Canva, how to make videos with Canva. We talked about creating a marketing calendar that was maybe even before Christmas. How I use Trello to schedule out several months worth of marketing at a time. So that's all available on my channel. I think that we've done a lot with marketing now. We're going to go ahead and step away from marketing for a little while offsite and then start working on the on-site with you guys. So if you have questions about SEO that you would like us to cover in some videos, make sure that you also comment those. Maybe not right now, but just after we get to the end of what we're doing today. And then we can start thinking about doing some full length videos on those.
Yes. So, and we're going to try leading into the spring to get to a once a week schedule. It's just early in the year. It's very busy for us. else.
Sally said, "What if we want adulterated bean?"
I gotta go subscribe to my OnlyFans for that.
Alpha's After Dark. We need to start doing those again as well. Now that we've got more people who are actually interested.
Yeah,
in
we
them.
should definitely do that. It's a nice shirt. Thank you.
Who? You?
It's very trippy. We had several people say nice shirt for you too. Rocking those like autumn chic vibes.
Autumn chic in the middle of winter.
No, didn't miss anything. I
right.
did want to address before we started though. I know some of you may have seen that Etsy did update like all of their terms of service, all of the like the seller policy, the buyer policy.
He did a full scan for
Yeah,
y'all.
I did a full scan. They have links to the original and the new ones. And I used a website to actually compare both of the documents just to see what changes were made, see what affects you. Most of it doesn't matter. Most of it is just like updating the language to be more specific to protect them in lawsuits and stuff like that. There were a couple ones about like hate speech and stuff like that. So they're trying to protect their buyers and trying to protect their sellers a little bit more, making it more strict about like what you can and can't say. They added one section about photos, like when you leave reviews and photos and reviews, that those before were not subject to other terms and conditions. So now those are subject to the same thing, like when buyers or when sellers post pictures and stuff. So now they're all subject to that. The big one was the changes to the advertising policy. There's and I'm not going to go over it yet because I've already sent a message to Etsy, but essentially it's about offsite ads and about it's a second party selling kind of thing where people can sell what I think, this is just speculation, where I think other people can start taking Etsy listings that are qualified for offsite ads and selling them on their own websites through Etsy's interface. I sent an email to Etsy because I have a lot of concerns about the wording in it. So as soon as I get information back from Etsy, we'll probably either do it on a Friday Bean if it's close enough to a Friday Bean, or I'll make a short or something covering it. So yeah, don't freak out. Don't accept anyone's speculation on what this stuff means unless they've heard directly from Etsy, because the wording is very legally and it's not very descriptive about how it's going to work. There's no information on how it's going to work yet. And the thing that concerned me the most was that offsite ads are still mandatory if you make more than $10,000 in a 365-day period. And as of right now, this partner selling program is also mandatory if you are in the ad program. So you can't, my concern is that you can't opt out of the ads, which means you can't opt out of somebody else selling your stuff, which means somebody could sell your stuff on a website that has an image that you don't agree with. So we're waiting on a response back from Etsy, and we will let you guys know as soon as I know.
Yeah, same with Pam is also getting the specifics about the amber jewelry ban. From what I understand and how it's worded, it's jewelry. Basically, they don't want people selling the amber teething necklaces anymore. They're a choking hazard.
Dangerous.
They're a choking hazard. A lot of jewelry that isn't even meant for children that are marketed towards adult people are buying them for their children. Even if you're putting not for children in your listings, it's not going to stop people from buying them. So basically, the strung beads, like full strings of amber, I believe are what they're specifically saying that you can't sell anymore because they don't want this to cause,
baby deaths.
Baby deaths, exactly. But I know that we've had a lot of people who have said, like, I make pendants with just like a piece of amber dangling and things like that. Those should be fine the way that they've worded it right now. However, we do have Pam Duthie. She had already sent an email. So we didn't bother sending an email about that yesterday. And we're going to see what what Etsy says about that. She sent that around 2 days ago, and I don't think that she's gotten a response yet. So I guess we will see.
Dulcie said, for anyone who wants to know, the Etsy phone number doesn't work anymore. You got to go to Etsy help and ask them for them to call you back. I had to do that this morning and find it much better than waiting. Yeah, so that's kind of a workaround because in the US, you have to have a phone number to have a website. You have to have a way to contact you if you have a paid service attached to your website. You can use Google phone numbers and that kind of stuff, but that's a workaround. You don't necessarily have to allow people to call you. You just have to have a way for customers to be able to get a hold of you on the phone. So that's the workaround. It keeps them from getting spam calls and stuff like that. So anyway.
All right. So let's go ahead and hop into today's big Etsy SEO topic because I know, no, we don't need to do that yet. We don't need to.
You said let's go ahead and hop into it. So I hopped into it.
Well,
I hopped in, guys.
We don't need to hop in there yet. We'll hop in there in a minute.
It's going to be one of those days.
It's going to be one of those days. So Etsy SEO and ranking. I'm so sick of seeing coaches who think they know. Well, I'm not even going to call them coaches. They're not coaches. They're just Etsy YouTubers.
YouTubers, Instagrammers,
Just people,
Etsy bloggers.
people who think that they know what they're talking about when they don't, and they're just kind of taking pieces of information that they've observed rather than actually looking at the facts that are both stated by Etsy and platforms that do know what they're talking about, such as eRank. It gets really frustrating, especially when that information is harmful to sellers or it's just misleading to the point where sellers aren't able to actually do what they need to do in order to make sales. I do want to start this little session by saying I'm not talking about anybody in particular. This has been a common thing for several years now, and we haven't done a video yet on it. So I just wanted to put that out there. I'm not calling, there wasn't like a video that posted.
No,
like,
it's not. It's nothing like that. This is just the topic that we're covering. However, if there is an Etsy YouTuber out there that wants to throw hands in the ring, we could do one of those YouTuber boxing matches. I'll straight up throw down with any of them.
Oh yeah, we'll
because I know all the Etsy YouTubers, and I don't think any of them can take me.
You are so. Will you shut up?
Let's do this. Let's do this. What is that? What is that? Jake Paul, Logan Paul. They do those stupid boxing matches. Let's do that. Just an Etsy YouTuber boxing match extravaganza.
I'm gonna make you go sit in the corner if you don't stop talking right now. Nobody.
Come on, comment down below if you want to see me fight some other YouTubers in the UFC ring. I'll do it. I'll do it for free.
Will you stop talking?
MTV Celebrity Deathmatch Claymation. Yeah, there you go.
Anyway, so ranking on Etsy. Basically, guys, a couple years ago, here's how rank used to work. Okay, you would optimize your listings with the very best keywords. At one time, we didn't have tools like eRank to tell us exactly what Etsy shoppers were searching for. So we had to use tools that were catered for people who were on Google, like SEO Book. If you guys recall, one of my most viral videos that still shows up in search, if you search Etsy SEO, is this old, outdated video where I use SEO Book. Because eRank wasn't a thing when I made that video. Don't do SEO Book anymore. There's a reason for that. SEO Book and most tools that are catered for Google, for one, they're Google searches, which don't necessarily translate to Etsy, but at the time it was all we had. So we had to say, oh, if this is popular on Google, odds are it's also popular on Etsy. It's not like that anymore. Second big thing is that a lot of these websites don't update their searches. So SEO Book, you would get on there in, January, and then you would get on there in like March, and then search volumes would be exactly the same, which means they're not updating each month.
Yes.
So that means that if you got on there and saw that, I don't know, Christmas trees were trending, and you look at it, you're going to think, oh, wow, Christmas trees are trending. And it's like July. No, they're not. They were trending back when people were buying Christmas trees. They're not trending anymore. And those search volumes aren't accurate anymore. Thing with eRank that we love is that it gets updated every month. We can also see what was hot yesterday. Unfortunately, we don't have a way to actually see like a day by day of the searches, like what was most searched. You can't like see the search volumes for every keyword, but you can see what the hottest trends were yesterday. The last 7 days, you can see what the top items were that were searched. And then every month we update so that you can look at like the full month's worth of data along with, I believe it's 13 months, maybe more, of historical data. So you can see if trends like have been rising over the last few months, if you can see like a trend has begun to decline over the last few months. That way, like, hey, if this trend is rising, I should make a product based on this so that I can get right there at the top as the trend is rising. Or, oh, this trend is falling, I probably shouldn't make a product like that. So ranking used to work on Etsy by optimizing your listing, your tags and titles, putting in those highly searched keywords in your tags and titles. Then you'd give it a couple hours, and then you would go onto Etsy and you would type those keywords in, and you would look on the search page and see where you were. Are you on page 1? Are you on page 10?
It's a very imperfect art at the time.
Are you on page 1, position like 15? Like that was important. That was your search ranking. Well, then a couple of years ago, Etsy introduced this thing called personalization. This is data that Etsy collects on you. They will identify you as a shopper, the things that you search for, some of your habits, the things that you're likely to buy,
common tags on items that are used, that you purchase for.
Yeah, they identify what you're interested in, and then they show you things that they think you're most likely to buy first. So if they notice that everything that you buy is pink, and you decide to search for, I don't know, a blanket, they're going to maybe recommend more pink blankets to you because they know that you like pink blankets. If everything that you buy has dinosaurs on it and you go shopping for a mug, maybe your first page has more mugs with dinosaurs on it. And every year this algorithm gets a little smarter. So right now it's still a toddler. Like it's still learning. It's observing what
it takes years. Google's been doing it since like the late 90s and it's still not perfect. It takes a long time.
Yeah, it's machine learning, but it's being trained right now. It's learning and it gets smarter and smarter. But this is a good thing. I know a lot of people freaked out when this happened because they said, you know, oh, I'm worried that I'm not going to get shown to people. No, it's a good thing because this means Etsy is showing you to people who are more likely to buy your products. You have a better...
Less randoms.
Exactly. But what this caused a problem for was a lot of people were saying, oh, now when I go to the first, you know, to Etsy and look at the first page, I can't find myself. I must not be ranking. No, what you see on the first page is going to be different than what I see on the first page. And it's going to be different than what Mark sees on the first page.
So it's information about you and your preferences, but not necessarily just you and your preferences. Your IP address, the one that comes from your modem or your router, whatever, your local IP address, everything that's searched within your household. So that will be personalization data. Data that they buy from third parties. Etsy does buy data from third parties. It's in their terms and conditions. Any second parties that they work with, they also get data from. Including websites that like their ads go to and stuff like that. They have data from that. It also includes information about people in your area. That could be your city, your state, your county, your country, that kind of thing. All of those factors also play into it. So it's not just you, it's your household, your local surrounding, your city, your state, your country. You're going to be more likely to see things that people in your area are interested in.
But Mark, what if I log out of my account?
That doesn't help.
But Mark, what if I go use an incognito window?
That's just for watching dirty movies.
But Mark, what if I use a VPN and put my locational data over in the UK instead?
I mean, yeah. But it'll get you banned, so don't do it.
But it'll also show you...
It'll also still... Well, I mean, it depends.
Localization will be in the UK, so you'll get...
Yeah, you'll get localization for the area that the VPN has put you in. So the area that you've selected the IP address for will be the personalization that you're seeing.
There is no way to strip your personalization from your Etsy account. But you can still see your search ranking.
Yes, you can. Using what now?
erank.com. You can still see your search ranking, where you would be in search, stripped of your personalization. Now, a lot of people say, well, how's that even useful? If I don't know where shoppers are seeing me and they're all seeing me in different places, how is it even useful to see what my ranking is? It's useful because then you know if you were showing on page 1, position 1 for a highly sought after keyword through eRank, through their rank checker, and you see that listing is fully optimized to the point where if there was no personalization, if it was stripped completely naked, you would be page 1, position 1. You know that's not the listing you need to worry about. That's the listing that you leave alone. That's the listing that you let sit, because if that listing is organically able to be placed on page 1, that means that whoever that listing is most going to be catered to, Etsy's going to be showing that listing to those people, or is more likely to show those listings to the person who the personalization is most going to be catered to. So that's not the listing you want to worry about. What you want to do is look at the listings that are showing way back on, like, we'll say they rank on page 20. Those are the listings that you want to start with. Because if you're deciding to do an SEO overhaul of your Etsy shop, what, for one, you don't want to do is go change everything at once. And for two, you don't want to change something that's already working. If it's already working well, that's not the thing that you want to start with. You want to start with the things that are getting no results at all. And if you want to know what to start first on, go to the rank checker, look at the listings that aren't performing very well, take those listings, and start very, very slowly doing your Etsy SEO edits. Now, I'm thinking that what we're going to do today is I'm going to show you how to use the rank checker using the Adapt shop. This is a shop that Amber and I run. Hi, Amber. This is did you get your chicken and waffles? Let us know.
Yeah, let us know. Did you get those chicken and waffles?
This is our shop where we sell alpha themed merch. So if you guys want to go get a Friday Bean hoodie, we've got blanket hoodies, we've got Friday Bean candles, we've got alpha t-shirts with the alpha logo, we've got all kinds of stuff. So that's the shop that we're going to be working on today. Let's go ahead and screen share so we can show you guys how to check your rank. Let's go ahead and screen share.
So you're ready for it now. You're for sure ready for it?
I'm very ready. I'm ready, Freddie.
Okay. Actually, I'll go ahead and do no face for this.
No face, no face.
No face, no face.
She forgot to get the waffles. Amber.
Amber.
All right, so guys, I'm using an eRank Pro membership.
Yeah, buddy.
Obviously there are 3 memberships for eRank. eRank free version, which is free. eRank Basic, which is $5.99 a month. That's perfect if you're a newbie, but you want to do a little bit more research than what the free membership provides. And eRank Pro, which is $9.99 per month.
And that's if you got them thick needs.
Yeah, if you need to do a lot of research and you are like really wanting to dive in, then this is the plan for you. But I recommend everybody start out with their basic membership. Start out with free and then basic.
Make sure if you got to go anywhere with PII that you want me and I can change it.
Yeah, it should be fine. So in the tools tab, we have the rank checker tool. Some of the keywords that I try to optimize for, we print on Champion, which for those of you who don't know, if you use a print on demand service like Printful and Printify and stuff, you can totally use the terms that are allowed through your print service. For example, some people want like the Bella Canvas shirts in particular. You can totally do that. Because
I'm actually quite surprised at the number for that.
What?
That only 380 searches in the last month.
May, it looks like it was really high.
It was huge, yeah. Champion's where it's at when it comes to quality. I'm just very surprised that less people are searching for it. But again, I guess it's not a trendy thing right now.
So let's go ahead and we will search for oversized hoodie. We've also got most of our searches come for Amber, Marie, and Starla. But we'll do oversized hoodie since that one looks like one that isn't going to rank super high. So we want to go into the rank checker tool. You can also use the bulk rank checker tool, but let's just do normal rank checker.
Click.
And then we want to do the keyword associated. So we'll do oversized hoodie. You can choose your shop location. So we want to do United States. You can do, shop name if you want to check on somebody else's. But let's go ahead and click search. And obviously this says what the average Etsy buyer sees in search results without personalization or promoted listings. Okay. So let's go ahead and click search.
Amber said, I've got to try the chicken. Didn't you try that? Didn't you guys get it at friggin' restaurant up the street?
No. Scott got a chicken and biscuit.
Chicken biscuit, yeah. It's just like that, just with a waffle.
At Bob Evans.
Bob Evans.
All right. So it was not found in the top 500 results on Etsy for that particular keyword. So that's what I was actually hoping for. I was hoping that we would get one that didn't show. But you can start to see what other listings are ranking. So you can kind of go through and see what tags they're kind of using, what their titles are looking at. You can look at how much their products cost. You can see how many favorites. You can use this to do a lot of good research about your competitors as well to see what is ranking, and you can check those listings out. Let's try the Champion hoodie one and see if I'm trying to do one that isn't just mine and Amber's name.
Champion hoodie.
And keep in mind, guys, eRank, I know that it runs a little slow at times, but there is so much data that we have to pull. So don't refresh if you see that it's taking a little while to process.
Like upwards of like 30,000 monthly users.
Yeah.
It's there are always a few hundred people at any given time searching things.
All right. So here's one that we are ranking for. Page 1 ranked 35. So that's the 35th listing on the first page, not including ad photos and promoted listings. And then we are on page 2 and page 5. So that's
well,
really
this is including AlphaDapt as the shop. Now, what if we remove AlphaDapt as the shop and see what results we get?
Well, it's just showing us.
Yeah, but if we don't have the shop, we're just going to see what pages. Yeah, more raw.
Yeah, we can do that as well. If you don't want to have to go through everybody else's listings, though, you're going to want to just see what yours.
Oh, of course. All right, you're good, school.
No, oh yeah, it is.
Yeah, see? Okay. Now we're seeing what the top results are for Champion hoodie.
Where did it say that we were?
Page 1.
Page 1, but what placement? 35?
I don't remember.
It's 35. This is a great way to kind of go through and see who your real competitors are, who is actually next to you organically in search, what type of mock-ups they're using.
Yeah, there it is.
And there it is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Really, really nice.
And this is where you will be before personalization takes into place.
Yeah. So Remember, don't touch the ones that are on page 1, page 2. I would even go as far as to say page
Yeah, I
3 and 4.
I wouldn't touch them. I wouldn't 1 to 3 definitely. Maybe page 4 don't touch, but yeah.
Yeah. So rank checker, guys. This is what you should use if you're planning on doing that nice big Etsy SEO overhaul. And then obviously, as you are getting into your keyword research, let's go ahead and do.
Gillian said, so dark green means great, light green means good, yellow is in, red is change it.
No.
Then try a new SEO tag, or is it just how it's currently performing?
So the color tags that you see, those, okay. So this is not like a red light, green light, yellow light system. It's not go, slow, stop. I know that it's hard, but color, we've thought about getting rid of the colors and everybody would freak out.
We've done tests in the past, or they did tests in the past prior to our being there, and it's astonishing how many people complain because they're using it incorrectly and want the color-coded system in there, even though it doesn't mean what they think it does.
So allow the colors to kind of guide your eyes, but don't let these be your determining factors. So for example, if I had a shop that was ranking very, very highly in search, maybe I make a lot of sales, maybe I've got a lot of great reviews, it is easy for someone who has a really good track record to still rank higher than the competition on some of these high competition keywords. So what I recommend is trying to do a nice balance of both, of ones that have, decent searches, decent clicks, decent click-through rate, and a lower competition. You're never going to get a really, really great competitive number and high searches. There's just too many sellers on Etsy. But you can usually get a couple of them that have okay results. This one isn't awful. This one isn't awful. This one isn't awful. I like to do a combination of both. So we'll do a couple of the ones that have, decent competition, high searches, but then I'll toss in a couple of these like cute hoodie that have a good number of searches and high competition, because who knows, maybe someday I'll be able to rank for these higher terms the more my listing quality scores grow. And obviously the more niche down your product is, the harder it's going to be to find those keywords. So experiment a little bit with the terms that you're using. Try to think outside the box and don't just think of a million ways to describe exactly what your item is, as opposed to, oversized hoodie. I could do gifts for business owners for the alpha hoodie, for example. And that would be another way to think a little outside the box while still targeting a very specific type of person, but not necessarily just trying to think of a million ways to describe an oversized hoodie, because
Shirley said, why did it say it could not find any of your listings in the top 500 for champion, but you appear on page 1, number 35?
It wasn't a search for champion. It was a search
for oversized hoodie.
Yeah. That was champion was the second search. This was the search for oversized hoodie, because oversized hoodies are very, very trendy. So this is I guess they are kind of dying off. September, then it dropped off a little bit. November.
But people don't like to buy things that are about to be out of season in like a month.
Yeah. These are still pretty good searches though.
Yeah, they're not bad.
But if you look compared to last year, like the oversized look, that's in right now. So you can see this trend is right up top.
Still got that COVID bod.
Yeah. Oh God. Yeah. That's why I'm loving the oversized hoodie.
That's right.
Trendy hoodie. Yeah. All right. We can go ahead and pop it back down. If that's literally it, guys. Search ranking from this point on. Anytime you hear one of those Etsy gurus say something like, "Oh, I've even heard like the eRank rank checker is a scam because it doesn't work."
No, it provides you the raw, unadulterated version of where your listing would be before personalization takes into effect. We can't factor that. We can't.
It's different for everyone.
eRank would need a whole server of its own just to be able to process that kind of information. Etsy's system is it's new to them. I mean, it's been a couple. Did you say Etsy goobers? Gurus.
Etsy gurus.
I haven't even seen the Etsy goobers.
The Etsy goobers. Yeah, well, they are
probably some goobers over there at Etsy.
They are, well, not at Etsy, just the Etsy YouTubers that are goobers that say that this tool is outdated. Just because you don't know how to use something, it doesn't mean that it's outdated. It means you need to learn how to use the thing. So this is my little PSA to the world. Next time you see some Etsy YouTuber out there, or Etsy Instagrammer, or Etsy TikToker who says that rank is dead, there's no way to see your search ranking anymore. That's not true.
Shut up. You're wrong. Fight Mark in the ring.
Go fight Mark.
Go fight Mark.
Go
fight Mark. We'll sell tickets.
No.
We'll do it in Chicago. We'll do it in Chicago. Throw our hands in the street.
So guys, if you have any questions about ranking on Etsy, feel free to let us
Get
know.
them in there. If not, get questions in about whatever else. I think you're done with the topic for the day. Am I right?
Yeah, that was
Am I right?
That was it. I thought it was going to take longer than that. But guys, last week's episode is really, really good. If you haven't watched it, we talk about those factors that contribute to ranking and all of the things that you need to do in order to work with the Etsy machine, as I call it, the Etsy algorithm. And the things that are the most important versus the least important, but why they are all equally important, even if things have more impact than others. All of them are equally important because they communicate together, they work together. That episode is insanely valuable. So if you're planning on doing a big Etsy SEO overhaul, make sure that you do that. Yeah.
I'm just going through all the original comments just to make sure that.
Can I do one more thing? Could I?
God, no.
I want to show them what I would do if I was going to update Etsy SEO on a listing real quick. Okay, so you sassy today.
I'm sassy, trying to throw hands.
All right, so let's say that I want to update my SEO. Let's say that I found a listing and it's way back on page, like, I don't know, 25, and I want to update it. The first thing that I would do is I would go into my listings tab and I would go into changes tool. Okay.
Do it.
And these are the listings that I'm tracking. I'm actually going to stop tracking the hat and I'm going to go, not listing audit, active listings. You want to go into your active listings and you want to select a listing to track. So I don't think that we are selling the hat anymore. I think that we've taken the hat out of the shop. I'm trying to find a Friday Bean product because it's newer. Okay, let's say that I'm going to be updating the Friday Bean tank top. You shut up.
The hot lady right there.
So I'll click track changes. Okay, so if you're planning on doing your updates for your listing, what I want you to do is go in and track your changes 1 week before you make changes. Because what this is going to do is it's going to allow you to collect data every single day on that listing, because you're not going to be able to gauge how you've changed your traffic if you weren't paying attention to what that traffic was in the first place. Does that make sense? You can't analyze those results. So I'm going to do that, but then I'm going to grab this listing.
Show changes. You're going really fast. That's why I said.
Sorry. And then we will look here, and obviously this one hasn't had any changes to it. I think we just relisted this one recently.
Yeah, I think we did.
But you can see that on this day, we had one additional view pop up. Okay, so let's go back and check out, trying to see ones that are, I'm going to go into my, I know we need to do a new collection. We haven't done one in a while. Trying to find one that we've sold recently. This one. What the hell? Oh,
what the heck? Oh, it's quantity.
Yeah, that's where I relisted it.
I was like, geez.
Okay. I'm trying to see.
So like an Amber Rich over here.
Where are we at? Okay. So I knew this one sold recently. So when you make a sale, you can see that the quantity available is -1. That's a good thing. That means that one sold. And then you can see your views and your favorites. So what you want to do is start tracking a listing for a week and just keep track. Are you getting a bunch of views for that listing? If so, maybe don't touch that listing yet. Focus on the ones that look like this, where there's no changes. You're not getting any new favorites, no new views. You're not making any sales. You're not getting a lot of traffic. Track your listing for a week, make your changes, and then see how those changes affect your views, your favorites, and your sales. You can start to see whether you get more views coming in, whether you get more favorites coming in. And then you can decide if the changes you made were worth it, if you should change it back. Cool thing about eRank is it's going to tell you in your actual tags and title, it's going to highlight the changes that you made. That way, if you make a change on this day, and the change ends up messing with your views and favorites, you can go back to the day before, see your original tags and your original title.
Stick them back where they go.
Exactly, and stick them back where they belong. So let's go ahead and go back and answer some questions.
There we are. Just going back through it. Can you sell videos of the fight on Etsy? Is that considered handmade? Yeah, anything these hands do is art. Especially when I throw them. Let's see here.
You okay today?
Yeah. I did not. My 4 Baltic amber pendants are still there in my shop. I think pendants and things are okay. I think it's just specifically like the full amber like necklaces.
And I think what Etsy's hoping is that sellers will take them down themselves so that Etsy doesn't have to go in and police your listings and remove those products.
David had added, does this not include items with ads?
No.
Ads are their own thing.
Yeah, so ads play into their own algorithm. So basically when you're looking at ranking, you want to exclude things that are, promoted listings on the page, and you want to exclude just ads that you're seeing. You're not counting those in your placement when you're counting down to placement. And what the rank checker is going to do is it's going to show you the no personalization and minus any promoted listings that would show up on the page.
There's an article about what to look for on the keyword tool by the extremely handsome Brian Cacciatore. Is that you? Did you change your name on here? You go to the guide section on the earrings Facebook group. Second one under guide 2.
Thank you, Brian. That is you, isn't it, Brian? Hey, Brian, if you post the link, do you think if you post the link we can approve it? Will it allow us to do that? No, YouTube will block it altogether. Yeah. Oh, well, poop.
Just put it with, because it's facebook.com/ just put what needs to go after the slash. Using rank checker, one of the listings I just gave a facelift to with the new SEO showed up on page 1, so that's cool.
Perfect. And that's awesome. One. Then that's one that that you did good on. You can set it aside and work on the next one.
Maybe use colors other than green, yellow, and red. It's hard not to think about the meanings when we apply those colors. Yeah, but there really isn't an alternative combination of colors that would make more sense. We've already gone over all this. And anytime we make any changes to the interface, the amount of complaints that we get, it's unbelievable how many people complain, especially when they're using something like that incorrect. I mean, it's not necessarily incorrect. It's a good starting place, but a lot of people use it as like, oh, red, that means bad. Immediately bad. That means like use with caution,
Be
conscious. Aware. Yeah. Fight Club Mark versus Etsy Goobers. This is just gonna have to happen. We'll have goofy goobers playing on repeat in the background. How does one develop boundaries for this feature? I always track all 500 of my listings.
You don't need to track all of them.
If you've got the time for it.
No, because you only have so many for your quota. So just track the ones that you're working on and that you're trying to actually keep an eye on. There's got to be a reason that you're tracking it.
You think is a good average visibility score? There
isn't one.
17.
There's no good average visibility score. It completely depends on your industry. It depends on are you creating something that's insanely trendy, or are you creating something that's a little bit more niche? There's not really an answer to that, unfortunately. Just like someone who says what's a good number of sales. That's a good number of sales. If you sell $6,000 necklaces is one sale. A good number of sales if you sell 50-cent stickers is not one sale. It's more than one.
So you had a sale, then the next day you got 8 views. Are they related, you think?
Yes.
Could be.
I do. I think that sales, remember when I told you guys that sales and reviews increase your listing quality scores, and that's what makes Etsy want to recommend your product to more people. Sales are important. Sales basically tell Etsy that product is something that someone really enjoyed, and reviews just reinforce that even more. In my last video that I did, not the Friday Bean last week, but the video before that, I talk about how to increase your Etsy sales. And it's like called this Etsy trick will increase your sales. And it's true. It's not, I call it a trick because that's the clickbaity title that'll get people to actually watch the video, but it's not really a trick. It's providing good customer service in a way that's actually going to lead people to purchase from your shop and review it so that you rank higher in Etsy search. It is proven. And we made sure that we surveyed customers and asked them if they want to receive these messages that lead them to leave good reviews. And they said yes. So make sure that you check out that video. It's got the orange thumbnail of me with the wolf hat on.
Said proof of how the color coding is flawed. -1 in sales should be green because it's good. Not necessarily, because red is also the most off-putting color, and sales could be more important than views depending on your shop, and your eyes are more likely to be drawn to red than to green because green is the most used color, it's the most natural color, and red is the most unnatural color, so your eyes drawn to it. So we could have this whole speculative argument all day.
Brian, bring it up with Anthony. I completely agree. because people see the red and they
But
think that
but if
it's
they
bad.
have, you can't have green and green and green and green. You have to be able to color separate.
Yeah,
you know,
because there's no indicator of anything bad happening.
right? It's not
only-
necessarily a bad thing. It might be nice to be able to like scroll through all the green and then see, oh, red. That's when I made a sale. Okay, that's when I made another sale. That's when I made a sale.
We do blue.
Could be
Blue.
blue. I don't know. Yeah, I honestly think red is the best color for it. Could you maybe explain the visibility score and what a good percentage is in a saturated niche?
I think I kind of just did that because there's no way to give you what a good percentage is. It's completely dependent on what you sell and your niche. And you say saturated, but saturated for you and saturated for me might be two entirely different things. It's unfortunately one of those things that there's no way that I can give you what a good visibility score is. And either way, you want to make sure that you're visible for the right keywords, not just visible, but visible for keywords that are actually being searched for.
Please explain changing SEO slowly for each listing.
The standard is to work slowly, as in giving Etsy time to properly collect data on your listings. So when you list something new on Etsy, let's start at the beginning. Okay. When you list something new on Etsy, we'll say that we're listing this candle for the first time. What Etsy does is they give that brand new listing a small boost in search. That way they're able to see how people interact with it. Now, because of search ranking and how it works, if you had all these people who had good search ranking because they had high listing quality scores that they had accumulated by making lots of sales and getting lots of reviews, and then you listed your little candle, the logic would be that your little candle would never be able to compete with those big guys, right? Because that you would never be able to catch up to them. It would take you forever. Etsy knows that, and they want to make it fair. So what they do is they give your little candle a boost, and they put it beside some of those big candles to see if anybody clicks on it, interacts with it, finds it in search, buys it, reviews it. Those are all things that help to build you up a nice score so that Etsy knows where to put you. And after a few weeks, Etsy decides based on the data that they've collected whether or not you're going to be up with those big guys and their big candles, or if your candle kind of sucked and nobody really wanted it, so they put it down in search, and then you have a higher road to climb, basically. So what you want to make sure that you're not doing is changing your SEO so frequently that Etsy doesn't have the opportunity to collect that data, because then you're just basically ruining that boost. Etsy has no way to tell what it is that you want to be known for. Therefore, they don't know where to put you, and that can jinx your shop. So what you want to do is when you're making SEO changes, you want to pick a couple listings, maybe do one at a time, two at a time if you've got a big shop. If you've got like 1,000 listings, maybe do 5 at a time. But pick the items that aren't selling, that you've tracked in the change tracker tool, that aren't getting views, that aren't getting favorites, that aren't getting sales, they're just getting no traffic. Make the changes to those, and then keep an eye on them in the change tracker and see if those changes worked. And give those listings a couple weeks to sit. 60 to 90 days is the standard. And while those listings are sitting, move on to the next batch of listings and give those some time. It's really a process of make your changes and then sit and study the results over an extended amount of time. I would even recommend not going in and checking them every day. You're not going to learn anything by checking it every single day. Go in once a week and look at the listings that you've tracked and see see how they've changed. Otherwise, you're just wasting your time when you could be using time to create more products or pack orders or do more SEO research. So nice slow changes so that Etsy has time to figure out what you're all about so that they know where to put you. Also, quick disclaimer that we made last week, but I think it's important. Don't go in and renew your listings every single day.
Don't do that. And don't listen to any coaches that tell you to do that.
Run from them because they're telling you something that can harm your shop in the long run.
That's archaic knowledge that doesn't apply anymore.
Yeah.
It hasn't worked since like 2014, 2015.
Yeah, the way to do it used to be because Etsy would give those new listings a boost. People would go in and renew their listings every single day in order to keep writing that boost. But basically what you're telling Etsy is that if your listing is boosted in search every day and people still aren't buying it, then your listing must really suck. And then Etsy just puts it way down in search where no one can find it. So you can destroy your ranking by doing that.
I have a question. If I have different products in different categories, like selling teas or selling plants, should I have 2 Etsy shops? Sorry, I hit enter twice. I'll redo. No, you're fine. You don't got to redo it. Having 2 different shops, like if one's selling t-shirts and one's selling plants. I mean, for that, I would do 2 separate shops.
Unless the t-shirts say Plant Mom on them.
Yeah, unless you're like selling plants and then you have like merch for your plants. That could be a little bit different. Gillian did comment, or Jillian, sorry if I murdered your name there. She did comment. She has her t-shirts or her physical products, and then she has her digital products that. So it depends.
Yeah, it depends on who your target customer is. If the target customer themselves changes, then 2 shops is fine. Like we've said so many times before, double shops does not equal double money, though. It equals double time, double effort, double marketing, double SEO, double stress. So I would recommend getting 1 shop to the point of sustainability before you consider opening a second. But if there's a way that those brands are cohesive, for example, maybe you sell shoes and coats and hoodies and posters and mugs and all these different products, but
eBay shop.
But they all have plants on them, pictures of plants. Then
the theme is plants.
The theme is plants, and it doesn't matter that all the products are different. If they all have plants on them, then the target customer is the same.
So to answer your question, it depends.
Yep.
Question or maybe conspiracy. I had 3 orders. They all got shipped the same time. No sooner they shipped, 3 more orders came in. Did Etsy give me a gold star and give me more orders because I got them out?
Your listing quality score probably increased when you made the sales, but it doesn't have anything to do with shipping them.
I mean, a lot of things could be right place, right time. It's an algorithm-based thing. It's not a person that's looking at every single shot, like enhancing things. It's a computer doing it. So, I mean, you never know. You might have made 3 sales, shipped them out, and then as soon as you got a boost, the right people were online at that time. I mean, you got how many billions of people are on the planet? Chances of someone looking at your thing at any given point in time are pretty high. So,
yeah. So, in terms of you actually shipping the items, though, and Etsy knowing, that's probably not what it is. Mm-hmm. It's probably more that you made those sales and then you were already boosted, and then it was just magic that people happened to purchase right afterwards. Did that always drove us crazy when we would get all of our orders packed and shipped, and then
oh my god, and then we'd get home and there's like 3 more, and we're like, stop buying things.
It's not that we're not happy to make the sales, but
it's always like when we're doing like holiday shipping, like we'll get all of our holiday orders out, and then it's still on the last day, and somebody will place an order like 2 hours before like the end of the day, and we're like, God,
you gotta rush out.
Yeah, it's like that. Say leave the colors as is. I learned to use those colors for my keywords. Yeah. I did a test, $20 a day on Etsy ads for a month. Etsy ads bought me $329 and cost me $598.
Turn them off.
Yeah, turn them off. So Etsy ads work for some and they don't work for others. And whether there's a rhyme or reason behind that, no. Their ad system has been broken it's going on like 2 years.
They just did a huge update, which I haven't. Yes, Pam covered it in a video. I have not had the time to look into it yet. Maybe we'll do that this week.
Yeah, we'll look into it because I spent most of my time this week looking through the policies and stuff.
But they've improved it. So if you want to learn more about how they've improved their ads, go to Pam's video. But I do have 2 lessons on ads that have been the same since the beginning of Etsy time. Mm-hmm. Only promote the listings that are already selling well. Mm-hmm. Don't put money behind things that aren't selling. That's not going to make them sell. That's a waste. Put money behind the things that are already selling, and then you're going to take that thing that's doing good and make it do great. And second thing is, if you notice that you're sliding in the mud like you've just described, pull back. Don't spend money like that on ads.
And I did want to ask, because I know there's a lot of POD people here. As far as POD goes, I know you guys struggle a little bit more with the Etsy ads because you're not necessarily making the money that reflects in your Etsy shop. If you're over that $10,000 mark, you're not necessarily making that. Has anybody here successfully turned off their ads? Because I know there's some countries where they have to let you turn them off. Has anybody here in POD successfully had their ads turned off because the profits weren't necessarily what were reflecting in their Etsy shop?
Who make over $10,000?
Who have made over $10,000 through Etsy, but not necessarily personally.
Not necessarily through your margins.
Yeah. I'm having trouble narrowing down my ideal customer. I'm doing themed gift boxes. Each one is for a person with different interest or hobby. So far, all I have is my customer needs to buy a gift.
What type of customer is going to buy that gift, though? One thing that I would say is that gift boxes, you're not targeting the person who the gift is going to. You're targeting the type of person who would buy it. So what I would do is find another shop that sells something similar to what you want to sell and look at their customers and reviews and try to kind of do some snooping in those customer profiles. Is it mostly women? Are they mostly younger or older? Can you kind of figure out how old they look just based on the photos? Can you find anything similar about them? Can you look through the other products that they favorited and kind of narrow down like what they find interesting? Can you like look at their little profile picture and figure out anything about them? I would start there, and then that will give you a decent idea of where your target customer should start. And then as you start making your own sales with your new business, you can start identifying your own patterns in your shop and just adapt your target customer from there.
Etsy ads really work well for some and are just a money pit for others. That's with all ads, not just Etsy.
Oh, yeah.
That's absolutely true. Facebook ads don't work for a lot of stuff. Have to have your listings optimized for ads so they're not just shown to all. Yes, absolutely. I just found someone selling swamp water. I'm not surprised. People been selling bath water and other gross body things for a while now.
Gamer Girl bath water.
Gamer Girl bath water. There's that one woman that was selling her flatulence.
Farts in a jar.
Farts in a jar, and then she got hospitalized because she was eating too many foods that made her do that.
Apparently we're in the wrong business, guys.
She made in like the course of a year, like she was making like 30 grand a month. Yeah.
What are we doing here?
Mm-hmm.
What are we doing here?
She almost died.
Oh.
She almost died eating too many foods to increase the output. She got hospitalized. Anyway, enough on that topic. The more you know.
We all learned something new today, whether we wanted to or not, guys. Now we know. And now a lot of you, like me, are questioning your occupational choice right now because apparently
you can Google it. That's not a lie. It's absolutely true.
Apparently we can all get famous farting in a jar.
Yeah, and she turned into something way worse, but I'm not going to talk about it here.
Oh.
I get not to review daily, but should we renew once we've made changes?
So you can, if there are big changes, and because basically every time you make a sale, that listing renews anyway, and that's like a positive renewal because that helped your listing quality score anyway. But if you've made like a major overhaul and you want Etsy to take notice to it faster, that might be the one occasion when you can renew. Don't make a habit of it though. Don't go in and do it all the time. There's no reason to do that. But yeah, if you've done like a big SEO overhaul and you want to just kind of get the process moving a little faster, do it once, but make sure that you're not constantly doing it.
Crystal asked this question, and one other person had also asked it. How do people rank on page one when they only have one or two keywords? Aliens.
No. So they have listing quality scores that were built up usually by several different reasons.
Yes.
Usually they're sellers who have been on Etsy for a really, really long time before, SEO was as advanced because the algorithm wasn't advanced. They made a bunch of sales. They built an untouchable listing quality score. So now their SEO can suck.
Or they built a brand off of Etsy specifically, made most of their sales not having to ever optimize, and they have a high listing quality score because they've never had to optimize.
Yeah. So it's usually because they're either funneling traffic externally, and that's built their listing quality score, even though their listing is incomplete, or they've been on Etsy for so long that their listing quality score is just pretty much untouchable. You can still rank beside those sellers.
They also could have been the first person in a niche on Etsy. I mean, you got to. I mean, Etsy's been around for a while, but in the grand scheme of the internet, it's been around for less than a third of it. So, I mean, Etsy's still relatively new, and Etsy's current systems are definitely relatively new within the last 5 years. So, you never know. I mean, it could be any number of things. And again, aliens. Any recommendations for social media help someone to do the posting for me?
Okay, so what you're asking for is like a VA, like a virtual assistant. Those are everywhere. You can post in the Handmade Alpha Facebook community, link down below, and say that you're looking for a social media VA. But you also have to be prepared to outline exactly what you need. Do you want this person to create content for you? Because that's going to take a lot of training them to know what your brand is about so that their posts will be cohesive. Are you wanting them to just take the content that you create and post it for you? That's going to be a little bit easier, but either way, you just want to make sure that you have them sign like an NDA, and it will be like hiring a virtual assistant.
You have to pay them.
Oh yeah, unless you've got like a teenager that you can toss them a couple dollars to do it for you. But yeah, it's hiring a virtual assistant.
I sell one-of-a-kind items, and I have a spring item. Should I remake the listing or just change the SEO and track them?
So, I have a spring item. Should I remake the listing or change it? Okay, so I have a spring item. Should I remake the listing? So are you asking if you should take that original listing and put a new product in its place. Like you've got a one-of-a-kind item and it's sold and you want to add the new item to that listing, remove the photos and change it and update it and relist it. Don't do that. First of all, Etsy doesn't like that. And second of all, anybody who favorited your item is going to get a new item in their favorites that they didn't favorite. And that upsets people. I've done that where I have favorited a piece of jewelry and then that shop relisted that listing as nipple clamps.
Yep.
And I was scrolling through Etsy with my child in the room. And
don't do that.
Don't do that.
Don't do that. Don't change one listing into something else if it's been there for more than like a day. You never know if somebody's favorite or not. Well, I mean, you do know if somebody's favorite or not. But
yeah, so don't change the SEO. Just if you sell one of a kind, that's the unfortunate thing is you can't build listing quality scores. You can only build your overall customer and marketplace experience score, which is your overall like how Etsy sees your shop as a whole. And that's going to factor into, how many sales you have in total, not for sales of singular listings, how many reviews you have in total, not just reviews of singular listings, and whether or not you've had any copyright cases, any, reports against your shop. And if you get like a ton of bad reviews, then that can negatively impact your overall customer and marketplace experience score. But if you sell mostly one of a kind, you're really just going to have to funnel your own traffic at the beginning. I know that sucks, but you're going to have to make best friends with social media because it's going to take you a really long time to be able to rank high enough. Because once that listing sells, it's gone. Like it's like you put all that effort in and then the listing's gone and then you got to start over with the next listing. It's very tiring, and I understand that. I did one of a kind for years, and then I switched to replicating for that reason.
Yep. And it is officially just about 1:00, so we're going to go ahead and enter the lightning round to answer questions for about another 10 to 15 minutes. A little less descriptive, but we'll try to pound them out. That way we get to as many questions as we can.
Let's do it.
If I change tags and topics frequently, will that affect my traffic and rank?
Yes, absolutely. Yes. Don't do that.
Yeah, don't do that.
We just discussed that a few minutes ago, but
30, 60, 90 days.
Yeah. If you constantly change your tags and titles, what you're telling Etsy is that you don't know what your listing is all about and they're not able to gather data based on those listings in order to decide where your rank should be. It takes 60 to 90 days for Etsy to collect enough data based on those keywords in order to decide where you are going to be placed in search.
All right, Angela, if I add a new listing for a seasonal/holiday item, do you suggest not including that in Etsy ads because it's new? No, that's not.
No, if you want to, if it's something like bestsellers are obviously the thing that you should focus on promoting. But if you want to experiment with it, if you've got some holiday items that are going to be seasonal and you're going to only have them for a limited time and you want to toss some ad money into them, sure, it's a gamble. If you're willing to gamble, go ahead and gamble. It really is gambling. And you might see results and you might not. But if this is just, talking about your general shop and not seasonal items that are only going to be listed for a limited time, I would definitely recommend focusing on the things that are going to sell if that's your ad strategy. That's the no games way. If you want to play, play games and you're fine with taking a risk, go ahead. See how it does. Just if you notice that all your ad money is getting eaten up by Etsy, then pull back.
Yes. Is 10 items still a good amount of listings to launch a shop?
Sure.
It absolutely is.
Sure. Yeah.
10 items is good. I also like odd numbers like 7 and 13. Those are fun numbers to roll with. 10 is usually the minimum because people like the number 10.
Yeah, I like
top 10 this, top 10 that. I like the 10 plus 1, 10 items plus the one of a kind.
Yeah, I like seeing a shop that has, if the shop only has one listing, I get bored quick and I usually leave.
Yeah, don't do one listing. I honestly wouldn't do less than 5. If you're opening a new shop, I wouldn't do less than 5.
Yeah, 10 sounds great though.
You look too new. It doesn't inspire someone to want to buy from you when you only have like 3 or 4 items in your shop,
At the same time, there are some shops that make one item that is so great that it's just like your bookends. That he only had those.
That's a very specialized. And how many sales did he have? Like 110, 115 sales. Like that's a very specialized thing. That's a little different. That won't apply to 99% of the people here. Starla, have you seen the beta version of the Etsy dashboard search analytics? What do you think of it compared to eRank? No, I have not.
I have not. However, the search analytics, I do know a little bit about it. And basically what search analytics is going to do is it's going to give you something nice to reflect back on, but it's not going to give you the same numbers that eRank is. I really like Etsy's current search analytics. So I'm assuming that they're just enhancing that. But search analytics basically are going to help you know what you're being found for and what keywords shoppers are actually, finding your listings by searching. And then you can take those into eRank and double up. So I think that Etsy search analytics play nice with eRank to begin with. So I would just use them hand in hand with each other. I don't think that they're really competing because eRank offers things that Etsy's search analytics won't.
I will use aliens as a reply to why most questions from now on. May our alien overlords bless us all with lots of sales.
Yes.
Nanu, nanu. Does Etsy allow you to have VAs work on your account? Do they have a different level VA to upload listings, etc.? No, there is only one account level at the moment.
Yes, and it needs to be someone that you trust. And I don't recommend working with a virtual assistant that also works in other Etsy shops. The reason for that is if you've got, say, you've got a VA who works with 10 Etsy shops, and one of those 10 Etsy shops decides to, I don't know, do something illegal and they get their shop shut down.
Yep.
Because you're all connected by that one IP address for that VA, all of the shops that are connected to that VA are likely to get shut down.
Yeah, and I mean, you probably can recover from that. You probably can get with Etsy, but it's probably going to be a couple of weeks. Yeah. Like we had that with Amber while she was doing her stuff. Her shop just randomly getting slammed for
nothing.
For literally nothing. So be careful.
Yeah.
Will changing product photos hurt anything?
No.
As of right now, no, but it's good to use all the slots. Just make sure you're using as many as you can. If you copy a listing to create a new listing, does it affect the SEO on that new listing? The new listing will have no listing quality score behind it. It counts as copying is just a way to get a format over so it's easier for you to edit. There is no...
Yeah, the listing quality score does not transfer.
No, it doesn't transfer over with a copy. It's like creating a new listing from scratch. It just makes it easier if you have a similar description to your products.
Mm-hmm.
I sell custom designs that appeal to different types of events. Is there a benefit or drawback to creating separate listings for each different event of the same item, or will that eat into my rankings? Different designs that appeal to different types of events. Creating separate listings for each different event of the same item, or will that eat into my rankings?
So I wouldn't create... It's not going to affect your ranking. It might confuse customers, though, if they can't tell the difference. If I go to a shop and I see two listings that are virtually the same, but they're listed as two different things, I might not make a purchase because I don't know what the difference is, and then it'll confuse me, and then I'll be anxious. Why would you want to... I mean, I think I would need to know the specifics here, because I'm trying to I'm trying to think okay, if you have I don't know, white flower invitations and then you're marketing them for weddings but also birthday parties, I would just make one listing and say for birthday parties and weddings rather than trying to do one listing targeting birthday parties and one targeting weddings. But I would need a more specific... I would separate them though. Or I mean, I would keep them the same and not separate them if it's the same item. I only recommend separating out your items if you're just kind of testing keywords.
Yeah. I love your guitar strings, though. Theodorio. I'm stupid. Have you guys addressed the Star Seller program at all? I haven't caught up to date on all your videos. Yes, we have, and no, we haven't. We have data on them, but unfortunately, they're new, and I don't trust any of the data that's out there right now to be unbiased enough to give us a good opinion on it. They other websites have done it in the past, and I don't think sellers care, or I don't think buyers care as much as people think that they do. But the thing is, when you present someone, you ask someone if it matters to them, even if it didn't beforehand. Something like that sounds like it should be important, and they'll say yes. So there's an information bias there.
Here's the fact that we know: most of the top sellers on Etsy in the world don't have it.
Yes, most of them.
And top sellers like Brian, who's in the chat right now, who has a gazillion sales, they don't have Star Seller badges, or when they do get them, they don't notice any difference. Or when they lose them, they don't notice any difference. Star Seller does not impact your rank.
As of right now.
As of right now. It does not do anything other than give you a pretty little sticker on your t-shirt. And what's more important to your Etsy buyers is your reviews. That is significantly more important to them than whether you have a Star Seller badge, because there are tons of badges. There's Great for Gifts badge. There's the free shipping badge. There's a Star Seller badge.
None of those have really mattered at all, ever. So if it matters, not enough that we've noticed, and it might later, but as of right now, I think it's an adoption from, because if you guys don't know, Etsy bought Reverb like going on like 2-3 years ago, something like that. And Reverb has a very similar system, and I think because it works so well for Reverb, they thought that they would integrate that into Etsy, but it doesn't really matter because Etsy isn't a place for resellers. So, and we already have a 5-star system, which everyone in the world knows how to use. So,
don't stress about it. If you don't break your back trying to keep the star seller badge
until it actually means something. I wouldn't worry about it. I have several items that used to be big, and they might actually say that it means something right now. Etsy might, because it's a newer system, but
they don't.
It doesn't. I have several items that used to be big sellers, but then they just stopped. It's been a year with no views. Should I take the listings down? Does it hurt me to keep them up?
It doesn't hurt you to keep them up. It sounds like you're using keywords that aren't trending anymore. Take your keywords that you're using in those listings and look at them on eRank and try to see if you can swap them out for some better ones. It might not be that the product's bad. It might just be that the keyword isn't trendy anymore and people aren't searching for it. So I would just try to reframe your set of keywords that you're using.
You don't got to yell baking anymore. What do shoppers consider a quote-unquote established shop, meaning confidence? I have 54 sales, all 5-star reviews except 1 3-star. Am I still viewed as new? It depends.
And we have data from the Etsy buyer survey that said that the number of sales is not something that would keep them.
Yeah, not so many people. No, which I was actually surprising, because for me it does. For me it does matter, but
yeah. When we did the Etsy survey, I can't remember the exact numbers, but Etsy
it was very small.
Yeah, Etsy sellers said that they didn't really care about sales number of a shop. What they cared about was if the shop had good reviews and a quality product. So you're just fine. I would say that 54 sales is great.
The thing with that is that, like, we know the data says that very few people care, but that's a subjective thing. So we can't really answer that for everybody. I lost my star seller badge, yet I get sales, so it'll be interesting to see if my shop's behavior without it for a month. I feel less stressed now that it's gone. Yeah, it's something that makes you like
walk on a tightrope.
Yeah, it makes you're just walking on. You feel like you're walking on eggshells, and nobody likes that. It's not good with anything in life. There's zero difference with or without the badge. Buyers don't even know what it means, and that badge says, quote unquote, a lot of people are giving 5-star reviews, means more than a long purple blurb.
Yeah,
agreed.
Absolutely.
It's silly. My 5-star shop gets 1 neutral review and loses this seller badge, so it's very clear to me the seller badge is a ridiculous joke right now. Don't stress it. It is.
Don't drive yourself crazy.
I agree. How many orders can I have pending before Etsy shuts down my store and puts it on vacation mode? I actually don't know that.
So
I think it depends.
So basically, the reason that Etsy does this is because back when nobody could find masks anywhere, these people were starting brand new Etsy shops, and they would put like 999 masks listed, and then they would take orders, made to order, and they would wake up in the morning, they would have 999 sales, and they're like, oh crap, and they couldn't keep up with all of those. So Etsy started putting that damper on the amount of sales that you can get before they take you out of search. They don't put you on vacation, though. Let's make sure that we're using the correct terminology here. They don't put you on vacation. They take you out of search results, which means if you had like an email list and you sent out an email, people could still shop with you. Yeah, they can still shop with you.
But at least that's how it was, unless it's changed.
Yeah, so it's basically just your Etsy SEO stops working until you get a little bit more caught up. But I don't know what the exact number is. I don't know if it's a rate, if it's like so many orders this quickly, or if it's an exact number. I don't think it's an exact number. I think it's more like a rate. I don't know. I think that it's stupid though.
And I don't necessarily, because there's a lot of sellers that don't keep up with their orders. Just make sure you're keeping up with your orders and you're getting them out, because at the end of the day, if you're so backlogged on orders that they're putting out, like as soon as you're caught up and you get some orders shipped out, it'll catch up. So it's not necessarily even hurting you that much. I mean, I guess it could, but
if you got caught up and then
it's a protection system for the customer, and at the end of the day, anything to protect the customer is a good thing, even if it hurts us, because at the end of the day, the customer is who's shopping. And if somebody ends up getting screwed over, I mean, it makes Etsy lose customers, which makes everyone lose customers.
I think that they should do it based on if orders are late getting out.
I agree with that. If you start having orders get out late, like more than 1 or 2 a week, then
yeah, I think that's how they should do it. I completely agree.
I agree with that. Do you know the difference between gross sales on Etsy tax versus Etsy deposits? We don't answer tax questions usually.
You caught me out. You caught me too quickly. Difference between your gross sales on Etsy.
Tax versus Etsy deposits.
Gross sales on Etsy.
I'm not quite
tax
understanding
versus
your
Etsy
question.
deposits.
It's hitting my brain stupid.
Yeah. Feel free to. That sounds like a good one to post in the Handmade Alpha Facebook community. We've got several alpha accountants in there. Unless somebody understands the question better and can chime in the chat, feel free to join the Handmade Alpha Facebook community because it's hitting my ear weird.
Yeah. Difference between gross sales on Etsy tax versus Etsy deposits. Yeah, I'm not understanding the question. Okay. My friend got put on holiday mode when she had over 700 orders during Black Friday / Christmas. 700 orders is dramatic, though.
That's a lot of orders.
That's extremely dramatic. Brian sells 3D printed. Yeah. News is better. I'm one of a kind. I don't know what oat is.
One of a kind, one
at a time.
One at a time.
One of a kind, one at a time. No worries on Etsy shutting me off. Okay.
One of a kind, maybe like like
something totally custom.
Made to order. One at a time.
Yeah, that could be it. But we're at the end of the questions, unless that one question wanted to be reiterated there.
Guys, there's freebies down below. Most of you have them, but if you don't, you are the minority and you should join the bandwagon because you're obviously here because you want to make Etsy sales and these things are free and they're going to help you do that.
We're good at helping you do that.
We are. So down below is my swipe files. Those are so helpful for multiple reasons. Not only are they going to help you with your customer service, they're also going to help you get more 5-star reviews. Those 5-star reviews are going to help you rank higher in search. Ranking higher in search is going to make sure that more customers see you in Etsy search results, and that's going to lead you to make more Etsy sales. So it is a huge chain effect, but it all starts with the swipe files. Thousands of alphas use them, even to the point where Etsy has started recommending doing a similar set of messages. And we now have the data to support the fact that they work. If you go back and watch my video from last week with me wearing the wolf hat, the orange, this trick will help you make more sales on Etsy. That talks about the data and that customers really love getting these messages. So get those down below. You can also get my marketing calendars for 2022. Those are going to tell you when to market, where to market, when to start thinking about making new products, when to host sales, holidays to plan for, when to start planning for the holiday, and a bunch of useful information. You can print them out. You can hang them on your wall, put them on your desk, write on them. Those are yours to keep, and we update those every year. So.
Yes, the swipe files, and we have actual proof that they work. If you watch the video that we uploaded on the 1st, we have actual buyer information proving that they work. We had Miss Victoria's question. This year, I'm making one-of-a-kind products till the end of May. Then I'll start up again in September. If I don't post anything for 3 to 4 months, will this affect my ranking on Etsy? If you're not making any sales or posting anything at all or doing anything for 3 to 4 months, I mean...
Yeah, well, the thing is, I know we say this every week, guys, but having an empty shop is the same as having your shop on vacation mode, is the same as having a listing that sells out, is the same as having listings that are deactivated. They're all the same. Basically, in order to maintain rank on Etsy, you have to be able to defend your rock. You're like you're a lion and you're standing on your rock, and you have to look at all the other lions and make sure no other lion claims your rock. You are the king of the jungle and you're reserving your seat. And the second that you get off that rock, somebody else is going to climb up there. So basically, when your listings are not in search, no one's able to click on them. Nobody's able to engage with them. Nobody's able to favorite them, buy them, leave reviews on them. Therefore, your rank doesn't disappear, but it goes to sleep. It takes a little nap.
She said, I will be making sales. I will have 100 products. Okay, so she's just not doing the one-of-a-kind stuff for the 3 to 4 months. Yeah, then it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
If your shop's getting traffic, then it doesn't matter.
Yeah. What matters most is people buying what you do have. So it doesn't matter.
And we will stop. We have 2 more questions. We'll stop on this Modern Cray shop. They just posted a question. That'll be the last question that we answer.
Okay.
How do you do categories in Etsy? I'm a new seller.
You go, so you mean your actual shop sections that are on the left nav of your storefront? Go into your Etsy backend, your dashboard, go to your left toolbar, your tool navigation, go into your listings. And then on the right side, you're going to see something called shop sections. You just add your shop sections and place what products you want into each section.
Yeah. Under the stats on Etsy, the quote-unquote how shoppers found you section, Etsy marketing and SEO, is that how sellers found you off-site, or is that the percentage of how they found us with our individual SEO?
SEO, I believe.
I don't know offhand.
I believe that it's what they actually typed into Etsy to find you on Etsy.
I don't care says thinking about making an Etsy, but I'm not sure if I should start off with Etsy or Amazon. If you're doing handmade, do Etsy. Amazon's trash for handmade.
Yeah. So I don't care. I love your name. Head over to Pam Duthie's channel, PamDuthie. She's got fun hair. Watch the video that she just created where she compares all the platforms. We have actual data to support the different types of customers that use each platform and which platform is going to be easier to start on. Go watch her video. She just posted it on Tuesday. That's going to help you a ton in your deciding, if you want to see the numbers. But Etsy is, spoiler alert, it's Etsy. Etsy's the best one, even with its hiccups.
I'm a new shop, might be on holiday this summer. What's the best way to pause my shop without losing rank?
You can't.
You can't, but it doesn't hurt you as much as you think it does. Take a couple weeks to get back up and running if you come off of vacation mode.
Like I said, your listings don't disappear. Your rank doesn't disappear. They just go to sleep for a little while. And all you got to do is wake them back up. The way you do that is by bringing activity back into your shop, because that tells Etsy that your listings are awake again. Run a sale, post on social media, just make sure that you're pushing people there and trying to boost your shop back up. I like doing a big sale after you come back, because then people are going to buy, and then that's really going to help your ranking.
Hi, Pam. And then one last one. How do I handle my mail person not scanning my packages at pickup? So I'm assuming you mean they're coming to your place and actually pick them up. Call. And if that doesn't work, take them in and tell them that you want them scanned. I mean, confrontation sucks, but so do some people. So you got to nip it in the bud while you can.
I mean, and I know that it sucks, but you could even try to catch your mail carrier when he comes and
say, hey, could you please scan these when you put them in the truck? Or just be nice about it, obviously.
Yeah, say, hey, my customers are starting to message me. I just wanted to know if there's a reason that you're not scanning these, or if there's anything I can do
to get them scanned.
Yeah.
Because it sucks. I mean, and you can always, if it doesn't work after a couple of times, call corporate if you can and file like an official complaint.
Start with your local post office.
Start low, work your way up, because you don't want to piss off the people you drop your packages off to. Doesn't take much to yeet a package across the room and have it get lost.
Lost in the mail.
Yeah, I've had several come back to us with boot prints on them, But we nailed that out just about in the perfect amount of time. We're gonna go get some lunch. If you haven't, you wait. If you haven't subscribed yet, make sure you click the subscribe button. If you haven't liked the video, make sure you give it a like. It really helps us out, lets people know that we're like the people to go to. And if you think we're not, again, come fight me. Click the bell icon if you got the YouTube app and you want to get notified when we go live. Comment down below. Let us know if you have any questions, any topics you'd like us to cover, if they're grand enough for a Friday bean, and maybe we'll cover them. Go ahead, do your sales pitch.
I read the book, guys, and it's not business, it's science fiction. And it really helps you when you guys buy it, because that helps my SEO and it helps my little search algorithm as well. So if you want to buy the channel, buy me, Starla. It's appropriate for ages 16 and up, due to violence and wordy dirds. You can get it on Amazon. If you buy it on Amazon, I recommend getting the paperback, not the hardback. I'm not the one selling the hardback on Amazon, and it takes a really long time to arrive. But
literal like month.
Paperback is eligible for Prime. You can get that really quick. But if you want the hardback, you can get it from Barnes & Noble. You can get it from Walmart.com.
Apparently.
You can get it from Books A Million.
Get it from Barnes & Noble. That does the most for her.
Yeah, get it from Barnes & Noble.
Because if we can get it stocked on store shelves, that's what.
Absolutely. So if
they don't have it at your local Barnes & Noble, feel free to go in and actually request it. They can order it for you.
Yeah, you got to walk in and ask them to get it, but they can order it to store for you. And if a bunch of people do that, then they might start shelving it. So.
It is a genuinely good book. This isn't just a sales pitch. I did enjoy the book.
Yeah, there's a little bit of romance, a little bit of action, a little bit of violence. Character that I might have written based on Sam Elliott. If anybody likes Sam Elliott, he's
Can you put that info on the other video you suggested? Just go to our channel, and any video that's not over an hour long isn't a live stream. This is the last two data videos that we did. One was uploaded on the 1st, and the other one was uploaded on the 18th.
Watch the one that was uploaded on the 1st. There's only one more video ahead of that one. There is how to do Etsy SEO in 2022, and then there's that one. It is an orange background. It says this Etsy or this trick will help grow your Etsy.
There's a short too.
I'm wearing no, that was a week before. and I'm wearing like a fuzzy wolf hat. It's right up at the front. Go watch that video. It's nice and short. It's got tons of information, lots of good information about the your customers, like how they perceive the messages that you send them. So
we appreciate you guys being here. We appreciate the questions and getting to see you all again this week. We love you guys. Make sure you drink some.
Sharon said, what was the big lie? The big lie was that a lot of Etsy YouTubers and coaches say that that rank is dead on Etsy, that you can't rank anymore.
That was the big lie. That's the big lie. And we're going to do a Jake Paul style UFC fight with all of them. We're going to make them all fight. And that's it. It's going to be like Mortal Kombat tiers. And at the end, I'm Shao Kahn. I'm going to fight.
We should do one of those like punch, like where it looks like I punch you, but it like goes like right past your head.
Just don't. You'll hit me. You're not coordinated. But anyway, we love you guys. Drink some water. Call your mom if you can. Call a family member. Talk to somebody that loves you. Give somebody a hug. Donate $1 to charity.